Welcome back to episode 14 of the Weightlifting.Ai series. As promised in the previous video, I will do a continuation of my talk about the illness and how it progressed in different ways. I didn't have any extra adversity besides the illness and the effects from it in this workout. It was in the next one where I had fun stuff happen related to one of my fingers, but I'll talk about that in the Big Friday / Big Saturday video, which will be the next one that you see. Wednesday night, I had been feeling better. Like I'd mentioned, the illness peaked on Tuesday and started to get progressively better. And so I think pretty logically that I was feeling better, so I don't need a full dose of the nighttime cold medicine, which turned out to be a big mistake because I couldn't fall asleep because of, I started to go to bed at 10:15. So I was planning on getting extra sleep, or typically I'd go to bed like 10:30 to 11. It's like normal time. So I was trying to make sure I was like asleep by 10:30. Couldn't fall asleep till about 11. I eventually did fall asleep and woke up at 1 o'clock. Fell asleep a little bit after that and woke up again at 3. But it wasn't very restful sleep. And it wasn't very consistent. I had, during those time frames, woke up a bunch of times. And the reason for that was my ear became congested and I could hear like the pulse, whether it was fluid or whatever. I could just hear and honestly felt like it was that loud to where I couldn't get into a position to go to sleep until about 4 a.m. And so combined during the night, I probably had 4 to 5 hours at the most of sleep, and it wasn't all at once, so certainly not very much. And so when I eventually able to fall asleep and then wake up in the morning, I actually felt okay in the morning, which is usually what happens when you have not a lot of sleep in the night. You usually don't feel too bad when you first wake up. It's as the day progresses when things start to get worse as far as fatigue goes. I was in a very weird spot because I didn't really feel like the illness was like the problem. It was more of like, I'm going to get hit by a truck of fatigue at about 1:30 in the afternoon, no matter what, because I had slept so little and I had experienced this before. It's very similar to if you are a caffeine addict like myself and you don't take caffeine for a day. It's like really that 1:30 or 2:30 time where just a wave of fatigue hits and it becomes quite miserable to not have caffeine, or in this case, not have enough sleep. As I did drink coffee throughout the day, but I knew it wasn't going to be enough. But it started to get rough because of the sleep from the previous night. Thankfully, as I took daytime medicine throughout the day, I got a different brand. Not that the previous brand didn't work, but it was one that was for decongestion and like severe I forget what it was, because I'm still using it throughout the day. I used a little bit less today, which is a good sign. I'm recording this on Saturday, the same day I recorded the last one. But I used a full dose on this day, and it did help as the day went on with my ear, which was nice because it was definitely kind of plugged throughout the day. But as the medicine kicks in, it helps with my ear, so I know it's not a serious thing. It's related to the nasal congestion, making that part of my right ear congested as well. So hopefully that does continue to get better. But I was dealing with that and then the extreme fatigue. But it was Thursday, and because I had not worked out Monday or Tuesday, I knew I was going to have to combine the original Thursday or Wednesday and Thursday workouts together, because Wednesday was the Tuesday workout. Thankfully, it connected like the previous week, where it was one day of just 2 really light weightlifting movements that you see at the beginning of this video. And I'll talk about the adjustments I had to make with those because I forgot my straps at the gym, so I made some adjustments to the specifics of the exercises I had. But I also wanted to get the Thursday workout done, which was front squats, clean pulls, push presses, and I just took out all the accessory work because even if I wasn't extremely fatigued, I wasn't going to have time to do 5 different exercises and get back at a reasonable time, because I still wanted to get to bed quite early, or as early as I could, which is one of the reasons I wasn't editing videos during the week, because I was either dealing with the illness or in this case trying to catch up on sleep because of how poor my sleep was the previous night. But I forgot my straps as well at the house. When I got home, they were right next to where my bag was, under my bed. They just had fallen out of my bag, and I didn't notice till I was at the gym, which thankfully wasn't too big of a deal. I tried to use one of the guys at the gym had some powerlifting straps. I tried to use those, which they would have actually worked, but they had a pad that goes on top of your wrist, which for just pulls would have been fine. But for snatches, they were definitely kind of in the way with that. But if they were just regular looped straps, I just unlooped it and was trying to use it as normal straps, which they kind of worked, but because of that pad thing, I wasn't able to be connected to the bar, and it was kind of slipping with that. So I just decided to adjust the exercise because it was supposed to be two power position snatch plus a snatch balance. I of course just did high hang snatches, but I did a single and then would do snatch balance plus an overhead squat, so pretty close to equivalent as far as the exercise goes. And then for the clean jerks, it didn't really matter because it was power position clean plus pause jerk, and just 1+1 with that. And I just did high hang cleans with those. And then the other adjustment that I had to make, because then after that, what I just have some front squats, some push presses, and the pulls are what I had to adjust as well. They were supposed to be triples at like 157 kilos, so I just loaded 160 on there, but I just wanted to see if I could do them with no hook grip, and just double overhand grip, which honestly 160 is, if it's not the highest I've done with a double overhand grip, it's the most I've done in quite a while. I don't have the greatest grip strength, but I also don't really train it, nor do I really care about it. It's not necessarily a limiting factor, especially on clean pulls. But I wanted to see if I could do the singles there, and then on the last set I wanted to try to do a full triple. I got 2 reps and then I failed on the third one there, but I was definitely feeling better by the end of this workout, which is odd as well, just because, like I mentioned, how fatigued I was at the beginning of it. I really didn't want to train, but I kind of forced myself because it was so light to go there and get it done, and I did, so I was happy with that, and at least kept myself on schedule with that. But that's it for this one, and hopefully you'll enjoy the fun talk for the next one. I feel like I'm about to cough, so I'm going to go ahead and end this one. Talk to you all in the next one. Peace.